Welcome to the Heart-Led Business Show, where compassion meets commerce and leaders lead with love. Join your host, Tom Jacobs, as he delves into the insightful conversations with visionary business leaders who defy the status quo, putting humanity first and profit second. From heartfelt strategies to inspiring stories, this podcast is your compass in the world of conscious capitalism. So buckle up and let your heart guide your business journey.
Well, welcome to the Heart-Led Business Show. Today, we're rolling out the red carpet for Joy Musacchio, the vibrant visionary behind Still Point Aromatics and the school at Still Point in the enchanting Sedona, Arizona area. So Joy is a master at intertwining ethical business with plant intelligence, teaching us to slow down and savor presence over performance. So get ready to explore her journey of heart-led entrepreneurship, where integrity and sustainability bloom like wildflowers in a sunlit meadow. So let's dive in. Joy, welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you so much. My honor. Thank you.
I'm really excited to talk to you today, especially because of the essential oils that you do, which are a lot different than what most people think on essential oils, especially when it's the big multi-level marketing type of oil companies out there. And I love what you're doing, and I can't wait to share that with the rest of the audience here. But of course, the first thing that I always ask is, what's your definition of a heart-led business?
Oh, let's see. That's a great question. So I'm from Sedona originally New York, but I'm from Sedona now. So I won't get too woo-woo because I believe in half woo. Woo-woo is not great, but okay. So for me, a heart-led business it's not just a business run with love. It's a business run from coherence. So to me, the heart isn't just an emotional place and love isn't just being nice to people. It's integration. So instinct, intellect, intuition meet and agree at the center of it. And I think that a heart-led business is a business where decisions are made from alignment rather than fear and way rather than greed. So pretty much it asks, is this integrity? Is this clean? Does this strengthen the field or does it distort it? And love, for me in this context, isn't soft. It's intelligent, discerning, and also willing to say, heart-led business understands that everything requires frequency, products, pricing, marketing, leadership, even how we pour, how we ship. So if we're careless, rushed, trying to cut corners, which I never do, or disconnected, the energy shows up. It really does. It shows up in the work. It shows up in the oils. So I think anybody that has a business, it's a stewardship. And for me, the stewardship of plant intelligence, people's trust, my own nervous system, of the land, growers, distillers, and the unseen. So it's not about being nice. It's about being congruent. And congruent creates safety. Safety creates healing. Healing creates empowerment.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's one of the better definitions that I've heard in over 140 episodes. It's just very the alignment piece, the coherence. It totally makes sense. So
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
Oh, thank you.
That's great. Yeah. So tell us about your journey getting into the oil business.
Okay, so it's a good twisty story. So back in the day, I taught school in New York. I taught 5th grade. And then I moved to Florida for 8 years. And then I ended up in Sedona. And so when I moved to Sedona, I started a massage business. And I used essential oils in the massage business. And I had also spent 8 years in a mystery school. I had the energetic stuff and all of that. So chakras, the aura, the this, the that, and the oils. And I was working with a local company for a couple of years, and the integrity just didn't match. So I'd never planned to start an aromatics business. I mean, at all. I wanted to find some oils for my customers, my massage clients. And so I started emailing distillers. And I did. So I emailed distillers in Nepal and in Australia, and I said, I'd like to buy a kilo, which is about a quart of essential oil. And they're like, oh, of course. And before you knew it, I had 168 kilos of all different essential oils from all over the world in my house. And I said, I think I'm supposed to be doing something more than just buying them for my massage business. And that's really how Still Point was born. And so I think the business found me. But the really neat part about it is the sublayer. And that is in 2009, when I started the business, the economy was collapsing, right? The banks were failing. Chicken Little was saying the sky was falling. And it was the least rational time to start a business. But it felt right to me. So I funded it by selling the jewelry my mother had left me when she passed away. And that is a next sublayer because my mom had been pregnant 9 times. I'm the 10th kid, and all the babies before me either miscarried or were born, lived one day, and then passed away. So selling her jewelry was the last piece of her that I had. I talked to her, and she did not talk back to me, and I sold it, and I started the business.
What an amazing story and journey. And I want to dive into one piece of that really stuck out to me. Going from a service business into a product business, that's a huge shift in terms of just complexity. In terms of the business style, the product business is so much more complex, I believe, than, a service business. So how did that education happen? Like, that's amazing that you were able to do that and are thriving with the product business now.
You're right. I mean, it is because, when you teach school, you get your 30 kids every year and the 60 parents that come with them, and they're your people for the year, And so it's a closed system. Sometimes it's a great year, sometimes not so much, but but you're working one-on-one with people, so it's contained. And I don't think I was prepared for the internet product thing, because it took a while before I realized that, well, not everybody thinks the way I think, and not everybody treats people the way that we treat people. And I think it was after a year in, I said, this is like I have a storefront on every single corner that I sell to. So if it's New York, and New Yorkers I'm great with because I'm a New Yorker, but different parts of the country is very different. It was a learning curve. It was, you're right.
Was it like trial by fire, or did you get some help to kind of navigate the business landscape?
Trial by fire. Yep. Just kept plugging along. The thing is that it's my businesses, I call it it reminds me of Sedona, because Sedona is a small town, but big city in a lot of ways with the restaurants and the art and stuff. And my business is small business, but people looking on the website think it's a huge business. People will call and they'll say, I don't know when my stuff is shipping from your warehouse. And like, I don't have a warehouse. We do everything. It's old mom and pop. So it usually I'm standing on a part of the floor that's squeaking in my shop, and I'm looking around and I'm saying, warehouse. So, yeah.
Yes. Warehouse, did you mean garage? That's awesome. So what do you believe makes your business heart-led?
Oh, good question. So I believe that it's the way that I feel about the oils, the way that I feel about people, and the way I feel about humanity. And sometimes humanity I'm not so crazy about, but I love humanity. I love them anyway, If I want to make money, I mean, we need money to live. I tell people if I win lotto, oils will be free to everybody I like, and I'm going to double the price. And I'm joking. I love people, and it's the real deal like that. So there's nothing fake. I don't feel that the oils are products. I feel that they're living beings. Not that they talk to me, but they're the lifeblood of the plant. They're medicine. And nothing's pre-poured. Nothing is pre-poured. Everything is done in the moment with intention and a bit of ceremony.
Okay. So when you get an order, you're preparing everything specifically for that order.
Yes. Yeah. So we get an order, we print it out, we read it and write a note. So it would be like, dear Tom, thank you so much for your order. I really hope that you enjoy the lavender. Much love, Joy. And then we hand pour it, and then we hand label it. And then I'm usually the one that's packing. And so then we pack and ship.
Wow. Awesome. That's a labor of love, right? Because I'm sure there's machines out there that can do some of that for you. Why the intentional choice of doing it this way?
Because A lot of the times when you could see the list of oils someone orders, you kind of could tell what they're ordering for. If it's a cold, a flu, or this or that. That's one thing. The other thing is that I'm a big believer in intention. Like I could make a dish of pasta, and so could my friend. And if they're an asshole and being in that mood, and I'm not, mine is going to come out. There's going to be an underneath substance to it. I know this sounds so hokey, but truly, so this is a quick story. So when we get the oils, I get the oils in, and I detox them energetically, so to speak, which might be a little out there for some people. But then I play music for them, and then we decant. We do a ceremony. We thank the oil and light a candle, put on some music, and then I decant into amber bottles that we pour from. And so anyway, a friend of mine who has another company in another state, I was ordering from Thailand. And so I called her up and I said, "Do you need anything from Thailand?" She said, "Yes, I need finger root." And I said, "Okay." So I was ordering finger root too. And for those of your people, well, nobody knows what finger root is. It smells the way it
I know what.
sounds, right? It smells like finger root. It's not bad, but you wouldn't say like, "Hit me with another shot of finger root for perfume," right? So anyway, I got 5 kilos and I divided it up. I poured 2.5 and I sent my friend the other. And then I met her at a conference about a year later. And she came over and she smelled the finger root and she said, "This finger root, you got new finger root. This is lovely." And I said, "This is the same finger root that I gave you." I said, "This is not a big seller, And she said, "But yours smells softer. There's a different quality to it." And I said, "Okay, I guess I proved the invisible to myself with the love and the attitude towards something." Because my friend is wonderful, but she looks at the oils, their products, and she's a supplier. And I'm not. I'm a threshold.
Nice. I love that story. That would prove it to me that the care and handling and the extra that you do with it just preserves the fragrance probably a lot better. So let's shift gears just a little bit and talk about the business side. Going from being a teacher and then being a massage therapist and then going into this business, it sounds like you had to be a self-learner in terms of everything that takes to be a business owner and to have a product-based business. So what was that journey like for you in terms of getting that education or figuring it out on your own and then balancing that business, which is always so dry, right? People don't think that the business side has a lot of love to it. I think it does. But how did you balance that with the more energetic and the love and care that you do for the other part of the business?
Yeah, that was a bit of a learning curve, Well, from not sourcing the oils, but the bottles and the caps and the labels and then the insurance and shipping, and realizing that there's a lot more that goes into pricing something than just what you pay for it. And it was a curve. I underpriced for a long, long time, I think, for many reasons. I didn't have experience, but I also wanted the oils to reach people that they needed to reach, and it took a year or two and stuff before I realized, okay, this is a business. I mean, this is also a business, not just this passion. And so I read a couple of books like the Blue Ocean Strategy, it's a couple of business books, and I kind of dialed myself in. I don't know if I answered your question.
What did that feel like having to learn the business side or being kind of in the softer fields, if I could say it that way, business, black and white numbers, zeros and ones. So what was that like for you to make that transition and realize I have to know this business if I want to serve more people?
Oh, that was a hard trip. You're right. The softer side for sure. And also, I mean, I'm Italian and I was a teacher and I was like the only kid. So and I'm a Libra and all of that stuff. I'm a nice person. I'm real generous. I'll give you the shirt off of my back. So to actually say, no, this is a business, and actually not deserve, it's the wrong word, but it actually, there's an exchange happening here, a fair exchange, for the product. And that took a while. And finally, I think I came to the point that if I didn't value, and this is going to sound so like hokey, but if I didn't value what I was selling, if I didn't value what I was offering, then nobody else would too. That was a switch. And I always ask myself the question before I put a new class up or a new product up or anything. I ask myself, would I buy this? And if the answer is no,
Mm.
then I think price it differently.
Interesting.
I hate being ripped off, and I will refuse to rip anybody off. But then sometimes when you have that fear or bias, you go way the other way. That you're like, oh, I'll pay you to take my stuff. Like, well, I'm not going to make any money.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure there were points in the business where at that point where you had to make a decision of, do I raise the rates? Do I do something different? Because, money's going out faster than it's coming in. And, when you come down to those issues, it's hard to kind of keep that heart-led piece into it. But I know a lot of people still keep that heart-led and balance it. How about for you? Was there a balancing act when times got tough? And how did you approach that?
So that would be kind of like right now, because with the change of administration and so forth and so on, now we have these tariffs, and essential oils
Right.
were never tariffed. So I had to order. I ordered these oils: white ginger lily, and I ordered carrot seed, white ginger lily, spikenard, and vetiver from India. And I worked with this one distiller, and the oils are exquisite. And white ginger lily is a pricey
Mm.
one. So where you could buy, let's say, lemon, you'd pay $100 for a quart or so. White ginger lily is $3,200 for a quart. So
Oh my gosh.
it's an expensive oil, and it's beautiful. So I put off as long as I could ordering from the guy, and then I ordered from him, and I did this consciously. And everyone was saying, look somewhere else, because the tax for India is 52%. So my order was a
Ooh,
$5,700 order of oils, and then I got tariff $3,100.
wow.
And I absorbed it, though. I absorbed that this time, and I will as long as I can. I'm hoping that things will roll. I'm hoping roll back a little, because it's not sustainable and it isn't fair.
No.
So with that, I'll never cut corners. Like, I won't carry the oil. I won't carry the oil if I can't get the one I want, instead of getting some crap. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and luckily I was able to absorb it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that brings up another good question. When those things happen where you are looking for an oil, but it's just not available, you could go somewhere else and get it, but the quality is not that great at the other place. Like, how do you kind of, what's your kind of mindset or your flow, your decision-making process to say, no, I'm going to stick with what I believe is right. And I'm going to go without because there's no other good option.
Yeah. And so, the good thing about, well, the lucky thing about oils is, or at least my business, I have like 400 essential oils, right? So it's a big library of oils and hydrosols. I just can't justify selling something that, look, if you want it for a candle, or make cleaning products, go buy, go. There's so many places. But if you want oils
Yeah.
to use medicinally or to do deep inner work, and I honestly think everyone should be doing deep inner work now, because it's such an interesting time to be on the planet. I can't justify going against not what I want, but what's right, right for me. And oftentimes if I can't find an oil or a hydrosol, then I'll distill it myself. I'll get the plant material
Oh,
and I'll distill it, and not the essential oil, but the hydrosol, which is the water part of the oil.
okay. Getting some kisses there from your dog. That's awesome. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Those got to be really tough decisions to make sometimes, especially if you have customers that are wanting a certain oil and you're just like, sorry, like I can't find something good enough for you.
It-
How did customers typically respond?
Oh, that's the different ways. Some are rude, not rude, but some are like, well, I don't understand that, that kind of thing. You always had it, you
Yeah.
don't have it now. And then if I explain, I know that, but my distiller, many will say, is there can you give me a replacement, a suggestion that I could use instead of, and then we'll go around
Nice.
that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh, that's good.
it's an interesting though when the people get, and I get it. I mean, I'm Sicilian, for God's sake. I get being like mad and and so, but what can I do? I can't, you can't get the oil.
Yeah. Well, nice that you give them alternatives because of your knowledge of the oils and what they can do for people. You can say, well, that would be good, but we have something else that will be just as good.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, very cool. Well, Joy, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit more about how they can find you online and potentially order some of your wonderful oils?
Oh, okay. So, well, you could find me at www.stillpointaromatics.com. And I'm on social media too, but the website is better. And I made a code. If you use the code HeartLed, you'll get 15% off site-wide. So you could give us a try and take a class, ask anything. And we answer the phone. So if you call, you will get a person and we will answer you. And we'll answer your email too. So, yeah.
That's great. And thank you so much for giving that code to the audience. That's above and beyond what I was expecting.
My pleasure. And my honor, really, to be with you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being here and sharing your wisdom in your journey, which is just fascinating. I find your journey very fascinating. So congrats on your success with the oil business. And I wish you all the success in the future as well.
Oh, thank you. And right back at you. Yes.
Thanks. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to today's show. Make sure you're checking out everything that Joy has to offer, especially that discount code that's located down in the show notes. So go check that out. Go to her website and order those wonderful oils that I know you guys all love to use. While you're down there, maybe you can see a review button. If you could give the show a rating and review, I'd really appreciate that. It just helps spread the word about the Heart-Led Business Show and helps more people that want to have a heart-led business feel comfortable that it's possible to make money and still be heart-led. So until next time, lead with your heart.
You've been listening to the Heart-Led Business Show, hosted by Tom Jacobs. Join us next time for another inspiring journey into the heart of business.